talent in the room. There's definitely some depth. There's some guys that have started a lot of football games for us. So, there's competition. That's what you really want in the room. You want to have depth. You want to have competition, especially at the running back position because it's a grueling position. You get tackled and hit by everybody. So, at any given moment, a guy can go down. We need to have another ball carrier in there, and I think we have that. I think we have a few guys that can carry load if need be.
LaShawn and Caleb, anybody after that that you can see emerge as getting some playing time?
Well, you guys have seen a little bit of Jasmine Patterson as well. Kamari Moulton is another young back that's coming along, and then you've got T.J. Washington, who's a little bit of jack of all trades, kind of a Debo Samuel type of a player. But so there's a lot of talent. Jazz has played before. Kamari hasn't played as much, but Kamari's improving. So those guys are pushing each other. We're still 2-3 weeks away, so who knows how the pecking order is going to fall, but we've got some guys.
And then you got some leadership, some guys on the offensive line too that they get to kind of run behind and talk about how that line has progressed with the running backs.
Everything works together. When you have a group that's a little bit more veteran, and the more snaps they can get together, they start to gel. And as the running backs start to run behind those guys, you want to see everybody start to gel and start to feel the same thing, whether it's the cutback lanes or if you need to bounce it. And I think they're getting that. We just got to keep everybody healthy, keep the line healthy, which they've been for the most part, and keep the backs healthy. And hopefully you'll see some big runs this year.
Great. Have a great season.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Coach Betts, Adam Jacoby, Hawkeye Beacon.
How are we doing?
Pleasure to meet you. We heard that LaShawn's been dealing with soft tissue injury. Are we thinking he's going to be ready for week 1 at this point?
I would hope so. Soft tissue injuries are always difficult. I don't want to comment on the injury, but sure. Right now I fully expect him to be there. But if not, that's something we'll have to cross that bridge when we get there.
And then you brought back a loaded backfield, and in most teams usually would see at least one of those guys transfer out just to get more carries. So I guess sort of a two-part thing. Okay. One, how do you keep all those guys in the fold, especially in this transfer portal era? And then two, how do you keep them all happy when there's only one ball to hand off on any given play?
Well, keeping them happy is the hard part, right?
Yeah.
Everybody naturally wants to have the football in their hands. I don't care if you're a receiver, a tight end, and there's only one football.
Yeah.
But you see it more so at the running back position. I think the only position that has it worse than us is the quarterbacks. There's usually only one of them on the field at the same time. So I try to bring a little levity to the conversation, and I'd say that about the QBs too. But in terms of those guys sticking around and staying here, I think that speaks to the culture of the team. The culture is making those guys like one another. They actually hate one another. And then there's a little bit of stagger. LaShawn's kind of 5th year. KJ's in his 3rd. Jazz is in his 3rd, but he's a redshirt sophomore. So they're not stacked up. I think for them, some of them can see the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. And I also tell them this: listen, you're free to go wherever you want to go if that's what you choose to do. But you have to understand, no matter where you go, you're going to face competition. You're not going to walk in any room where there's not other running backs. So it's just the nature of the position.
It's one of those, grass isn't always greener on the other side. You got to recognize that because it's still kind of this new world of NIL, the portal, and everything else like that.
Right. You just don't know what you're walking into. Sometimes you can walk into a better situation. Sometimes you might not. But I think, again, it speaks to the culture in the locker room. Those guys really have bonded. They have a brotherhood, a friendship. And when you have that type of chemistry, it's hard to try to walk away from stuff like that. So these guys want to stick it out, play together, and compete. And I think the fact that they're here makes us stronger as a unit, makes us better as a football team.
How have you seen Kamari really progress over the last 6 months? Seems like he's put on a pretty good, significant amount of weight. It seemed like he ran the ball really well in the spring. But where are you kind of assessing him right now?
Well, all the guys are improving. That's what you want to see. But if you're asking about Kamari specifically, he's put on a little bit of weight. To me, everybody that we recruit can run the football. Otherwise we wouldn't recruit them. But what else can you do? So for him, I think he's becoming a solid pass protector. And more importantly, he's able to catch the ball out of the backfield, something he needed to work on, in my opinion, coming out of high school. And I think he's done that. And the more you can be able to be used outside of the backfield, whether it's catching the ball, it makes you more valuable as a football player, and it makes us more effective as an offense.
So with this new offense, with Tim Lester, has that changed the way that you have to instruct these guys, teach them, grow them? Are there roles different in any way in a Tim Lester offense than they were last year?
I wouldn't say their roles are different. I think the running back role is pretty much the same in any offense. One, we have to run the football. We have to be able to protect the quarterback, and we have to be able to catch the ball when it's thrown to us. Now, our responsibilities and how we go about that change depending on the offense. But as far as our key ingredients, running, blocking, and catching, that hasn't changed much. So for them, it's really about understanding the offense, where they fit in, where do they need to be, who do I need to block when it comes to pass protection, what type of route do I need to run in this particular play. Those are the little nuances that they're having to learn right now.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Yep.